Hi, I'm Lawrence Mangenje. So in this week's episode of Let Us Look at the League, I'm joined by Energy Murambadoro, a boy who lived the dream from Gokwe, Chomvuri village, straight to the African spectacle, where he kept goal for Zimbabwe, being the first ever goalkeeper to keep goal for the Warriors. I talked to him about his journey from Gokwe to Cape United and winning the Soccer Star of the Year and the ultimate prize, that is to keep goal for Zimbabwe at the AFCON finals. Join me on this episode. Welcome along to this week's episode of Let Us Look at the League. I'm Lawrence Mangenje. The village of Chomvuri in Gokwe, 340 kilometers from the capital Harare, is known for a lot of things. Fresh farm produce, groundnuts, maize. But unbeknown to many, the village produced one of the best football legends, one of the best goalkeepers to ever set foot on a football pitch. That is Energy Gokwe Murambadoro, the gentle giant, who is my guest for the show this week. Gokwe, welcome there.
Thank you. Lawrence.
What's the matter?
What a gentle giant is.
I'm so gentle. Anyway, before there's a lot to talk about in terms of your illustrious career as a goalkeeper. But one of the many things that people have been asking me when I told them that you were coming to the show is, how were you discovered at Cape United? As a matter of fact, how did you end up at Cape United?
It's a very long story, but I'll try to keep it short and brief. To discover, let me set the record straight. There's a guy, and we ran in the Francis and Kangana Stark. I got a team manager. So he's the one who suggested some other time with Iowa. I know some guys who Capes who maybe we can just go home train now. It was supposed to be for 2 weeks. So we came 2 weeks is also. During that 2 weeks I can knock it home potential. It was sort of a trial, if I want to be honest. I remember there was the late Freddie Mukwesha. Because I had another player and another Gokwe in the Clayton. Yes.
Okay.
Well, the guy in the Francis Kandengo. So he's the one who brought us here together with the Clayton Love. So at our 2 weeks we were extended. So we ended up staying here for long. But Capes we has one breakthrough.
Take us through the process and that breakthrough. Because you are just someone arriving in Harare for the first time, like you rightly said, and it. Makakura Gokwe, born and bred. Maya go Harare. Maya for trials at Cape United on the recommendation of someone.
Gokwe, and got born and bred to Gokwe. Gokwe and I got to that to Kuro for the Bichan.
Okay.
Through primary. Daranga Purisa.
All right.
Ex-member retired now. Vaishandra ku takabva kumushavani tichizwa vachitransferenda kugoko ma80s ikoko. So I did my primary ikoko but I think takangosvika ndinotangira grade 1 ikoko.
Okay.
So from grade 1 ndazopedza ma-O levels angu ndokwadati kugoko. Saka goko ndo yandakaona. But isusu kumusha kwedu isusu kumasvingo kwagutu kwanerupiri. Ndokwatiri koko hama dzedu dziriko mbuya wangu akabereka mudhara wangu ndokwavari.
All right. So I want you to take us through briefly, that is, from the time that you arrived in Harare up to your breakthrough with Zimimi Mahakubatra Cape United, the first team.
Long process. Papa we came, takatanga fight our warfare, so we need to fight to oneko kuti unogona. Unogona, akakwete kuti unogona, une potential wede kujoina because remember Capes is a very big institution. I remember tichisvika tabataiswa ku reserve team. I was training with the reserve team. Chinana Tsipa, Nana Moses Jackson. Pamwe ndakota ndichikangana tana inzi Pardon Mbara. I think akaenda ku UK kuzvino. Ane vamwe ndakuita ndichikoshiwa mbichana. So that is the team yandakasvika ndichinopinzwa imomo. Because it was remember that those days the reserve league yanga chiri active.
Yeah.
So we're thrown with that team. Dokutanga kuva incorporated team imomo, but it wasn't easy. Kutanga kufighta kuti one mukana. Sati mbotamba reserve imomo pampacho ndi unombobata pampacho unombotambisa vamwe. But unongochito because remember kwakukura kubhuku huku talent iriko but kunoganga a little bit refined manje, so you need to better kuti unazo polish up kuti usvike kupa level racho, so stayed. I think ndakaita gore rese if I'm not ndakaita 1.5 years ndichingo titange ndiri pa apprenticeship sort of kusvika my breakthrough yazouyawo kutizotamba. But I remember the season, if I'm not mistaken, ndakazotamba last game of the season, one game. The following
Seko Cement?
I think it was Seko Cement. If I'm and China
it was Seko Cement.
Seko Cement. I think I won 1-0 because I remember the first game rangu ndakaita clean sheet ndo zvega zvangu remember. Then season yapera. Then in 2001 ndo pandakazotamba, but ndifunge ndakatanga China zonzvisa kuti ndifuna kuzotsarisa ma states kwakudhara. But I think I played 2001. 2002 and 2003 ku Cape.
Okay. So mukutaura mimi kuti like coming from the village, of course I'm not good as when you go, but you came from there into Harare. Breakthrough yenyu yakatambirwa say from where you're coming from, like how did people take your breakthrough? To what extent was it celebrated really? Because it's a big achievement. Coming from Gokwe just into one of the biggest teams in Zimbabwean football. How was that achievement reacted to?
I was chinotofadza mafirst areas because 1 minute titese that's a minute munhu akubuda newspaper and all those. I don't know that zvinofadza, but I remember vanhu vaitanga kupaka special treatment kai kuti even vanhu vajaira vanenge vakukutya kuenda indirector now, so I don't know kuti maybe vakufungidzira kuti amene wa someone else or something. But it was a big thing kumarani kwangu. Because I remember one of my games another kutamba ku Capes, I could see ndakatasa mustand, I could see a lot of people from Gokwe vaiuya kuzoona mabhora. I remember a very well game ratakatamba kurimuka kunonzi kukadoma inonzi rudhaka iri kana rimuka stadium. I could see mafesi angu akamira pamusoro pemabhazi, so mabhazi akalaina akamira pamastands vachiona kuti hamukuma no areas. So it was a big thing. Unobva wati waicelebrate overnight kakuareas. But of course ndandine kakuzikanwa kugokwe because endakanga ndatotanga futi ndichiri mupana mudiki. I think with division 1 division 2 ndaitamba ndati form 1 ndanda kutotamba division 2 kugokwe, saka kambiri kemugokwe kakapo mbicha. But kakazonyanya kuzoamplify manje because it's not an easy fate kuti unzi from Gokwe wakutonotambira Capes. Because ndaitomboita mafight kana madhara kuti iwewe, because I remember ndakatouya kuno kuHarare kuno ndatoshanda ndakushanda because ndapedza shanda mashop ati ndaitoshanda mushop, so ndakatomboshanda mubhengi rimwe, I won't say the name, ndakamboshanda mubhengi tichita data collecting because remember Gokwe kwaita zvemakotoni machecks and what. So ngopi wakakona kaunzi chingoita data capture yora zvemacheki zvimwe zvazvo wakamira apo ndachangopedza form 4 I think. Ndichazoti maresources achangouya ndakamira maresources anengonzi aingowata mana zvokuita chidididi. So madhara anachona munhu anenge atanga bhora, but munhu ane puri manoda bhora still. Saka ndakazoenda kuHarare sandangoti ndakutora off mbichana. Ine ndichizanda hapa zvakanoitawo kuti ndichizodzoka nditaura kuti ndakuenda kuHarare kuita zvebhora kupi ku Capes nzanopenga. Ndo Capes iwewe. Kutambira ku Capes yabasa. So see. So yatomboita ka tension mbichana kuteni. So ndo zvimwe zvakandipusha futi kuti this thing has to work. Because ndadisappointa vabereki. Ndasiya chinhu chaitange chiri parikuda kuti akaglima keka future neka hope kuti zvinokwanisa kuita basa rapo ukadaidai wokuda kutozomushanda ubhobho uchisiya izvi, saka papasina kudzokera mashure. So that was also another motivating factor for me kuti pandasiya uko I have to make sure it works there because akuchadzokereke kuchizotaura kuti kwaitika so ndokamukapusha kakakuti paika.
Okay. So how was life Energy in the green half of the capital? How was life generally? You are now a Capes United player. Everyone knows you. at some point pakutobuda newspaper headlines kuti mukomana akadai. So I also know there's a certain picture like iconic rekuti up in the air.
True.
Yeah, bora riripo chichi. How was life in the green half of the city as a Cape United player? Masvika makuzikanwa imimi.
Life changed for the good for me, because it was something that aumbofuka zvifungidzira kuti wamumaziso evanhu pamurombe vanhu pese pakufamba pepa kukuona. But there's something that also kept me grounded, despite all the fame and my recognitions anenge achiitika paipa kuti kwandakabva the way I was raised.
Indeed.
Giving credit to my parents and Gokwe kwachona because unoona kuti it's a small town. Very, very humble people. So that is everything that I knew about life. Just be humble. So it helped me a lot when I came here. Despite sort of the noise around it, I tried by all means to remain focused on Chakandi and Desai. Remember, Zandambotaro, Papa is not turning back, and we have to make it work. So also the fact that my parents are very proud of you. It kept me grounded despite everything, which I appreciated. Okay, but it's a big shock because it's not easy to handle. Every corner, even the movements become a little bit restricted. Because naturally we are shy. I'm a shy person, and too much here, but the border you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
So, but kukura kwangu manje kwanipesa a bit more grounded. So it wasn't very, very difficult to maneuver. Because I knew what I wanted.
And things really changed for you, in a very, very quick manner, if you ask me. Because I remember in 2002, Des Delio Capena, the defensive stalwart, won the Soccer Star of the Year. But you were on the calendar.
True.
How was that feeling, knowing Kuti? I'm now being recognized as one of the best 11 players in the league in Zimbabwe?
Was my achievement? It was only after I retired, like now, and ndakutanga kuona how big it was. Kuti ungori pa calendar paipa, also no winner, Soccer Star, also no national team and all those things. For me, it started to hit me when I retired. Especially now when I'm coaching, I can see how difficult it is for fans to maintain the consistency of performing. So not because you know appreciate the magnitude of what I have achieved. Especially considering I was a goalkeeper. The pinda bakale and so win
2003, the following year, that is.
The following year, that's pinda when so win. Only now, ndopanda to fulfill Pagashando. But back then, honestly speaking, the drive to keep on improving. They don't want to be better than what I did the previous game. But in more.
Okay. 2003, recall the time that you won the Soccer Star of the Year. How did it feel? Richard was it all right? Gokwe, Energy, Divo, the Castle, 2003 Soccer Star of the Year. Take us through that moment and how you felt and what was your reaction?
I was shocked. Because I didn't think it was in the win. In personally, I thought the previous year I had done very, very well with the F. But no was win now. FanzoneZW Soccer Star. The first thing that came to my mind is I underpaid the Zimbabwe. That was my first thought with I'm underpaid. And I would have Buddha. Because I remember the very night you plus also that year also I played a lot in national team and I was exposed to another level of football. And I felt with I want to be there with these other guys because Barcelona and what. So my mind I need to adjust. Of course I was very grateful for winning that.
But the belief was coming up now.
And I could mix and mingle with these other big guys. That was where my mind was set now. I celebrated. But that thing was, for me, it was more for my parents than me.
Okay.
Because Pandira think of validation with Iowa. ndakazoenda kwayo. Remember inini changu ndakabva kumbo.
And kwangu nebasa rakasara iko.
Kwano basa rakasara. Saka taida kuti vanazonzwisa kuti already zvandafambira zvazobuda manje ichi. So I invited my mom and my father couldn't come. I think he was occupying the basa, but she was here. Ndakafila kuti I've fulfilled kana kuti ndabvisa disappointment. Exactly, like compensated for kutiza zvaifungwa ndatiza uko. Ndo zvandafambira. So it was more for them and my and than for me, and it was also for my hometown. Gokwe ndaiona ngeyanga nekakushoreka mbijana kumusha and all those things. So for me it was
kudedza kuti Gokwe ngestori compliment ndozomuta
yakatanga isiri compliment. It for me aitange ndikuka kunyomba sort of kuti awe kugokwe. But when I started playing utamba zviri nani vanhu vachike ndasingatoridi zita rachona iroro, but somewhere unopedza unoziva chinhu chausingari chinonamira. Saka ndakapedzera chatozongopedzera chatongwa Gokwe I embraced it. Plus ndakatozoona kuti futi it made my hometown also kuti ive izikanwe, and people were proud also back home kuti arikutonzi Gokwe and zvikutoenda nezita retown rasumukira. So for me also that trophy, that soccer star was more for my parents and my hometown. Kuti celebrate zvaitwa nemwana wokwe uona misa.
It is the dream of every player, Gokwe, to play for the national team. And obviously you were no exception. How did it feel when you made your national team debut? Right, inini ndadotobatra Zimbabwe man.
Iyo manje ndo yakanyasozondishoka manje kuti maybe ukunda vanhu vangu kuti achingojuta kukebza achichi, but uko vanhu vari kuti ndinoenda kuno national team. I had doubts that ndinokwanisa nomira. I remember ndichiudzwa call up iya chiudzwa nechidzimupe wakatsamba national team. There's an article yakandivhundudza actually, because pane imwe article, so I think I still have it, yakanyorwa Mofa achinge akaappointwa kapaipa achitaura kuti Murambadoro will be my keeper, something like that, along those lines.
Okay, what the legendary Sunday Chidzambo.
Apa inini kana ma under 20, under 23 ndakamboshedzwa kuma under 23, but I could not make the team, I think. Sandakati wana ndajamba kweso tozonzi ku national team. Pakanaka kutya kana kamboita kana kuvhundika ndakatoti mudara kutoni pa pressure kutonyora kuti sauda kutambisa inini pa hasha. Ndaromboenda areas. Because for whatever reason Gokwe seemed to calm down a little bit.
Okay.
Because people are tombofuka because I told kana bore vena ndiri kukepsa ndakakopera kana pane mukana nditomboenda kumba. Because ndoko aitomboita kuti
it was a happy place.
My happy place, so I can detox, pane pressure dzedze and everything. So I went home. Nditombotaura namadhara kuti namudhara wangu kuti uku ndovaitozondisimbisa no ambonditi usaende kwena.
Tachinje now.
Ndiona bhora inotamba bhora unotye zvakangofanana bhora rimwe chete. So izvo zvakandikauma mbijana, because I even remember the first game atakamba neMali. The first 10 minutes of that game, if people still remember, when I was jittery zvokutoda.
Okay.
I remember ndakatombobuda close ndakatombopotsa close or something. I was very very nervous. But after ndatombobata bhora 1 2 kana kuona kuti bhora rakangofanana. Plus mofu angogara ngotaura zvimwe chete kuti bhora rakafanana. Ungoti wangotora national sports waenda naro kana watora mugwanzuro wangoisa pana it's just the same. Changosiyana kunzo kune vanhu vachona, but mukati zvimwe chete. So it calmed me down a little bit. So ndakatanga kuona kuti alright chinotambika chonichi. Takutochimanya.
There's a story that is widely known in Zimbabwean football. Anyone who followed Zimbabwean football in the early 2000s, 2001, 2003 knows about this. National Sports Stadium, a packed National Sports Stadium against Mauritania. And this guy, AFCON qualifier. A pinpoint cross from the captain, Peter Love, was met with a bullet diving header by the late Adamski.
Okay, I remember that game.
Right? Tawan. And this guy. Wakomana went to celebration. And this guy. The late Adamski get a machine gun celebration. Sasa don't know manganono kwakusvika rekaroti. But vakazongoti vipi vakasvika vari anyway chingotudze kuti chii chakaitika. That was best.
Unoona chinhu chacho celebration here. People vanoti ndakakwara chichi aina ndakukwara pa celebration here. But game randa kuripedza if I'm not mistaken. Because ndakazobudiswa ka game here.
Really?
I think ndakabudiswa. But vanoti akazokwara azobudiswa. But game randa before
chii chakanyanya kusparka imdara for you to run from the goal post like to the other end zvimwe zvezvo kuti was it the nature of the goal, the occasion, like what was it like?
Paipai ndakasvika vanhu vakutopedza. Ndakabva kure kake national sports akareba ka. Saka ndaenda urosvikawo vachitova vari kuita saka ndakati that celebration I saw it from I think it was Campos that was it the Mexican keeper. Ndakamboona aipfeka zvima colorful what zvezvo. Saka ndoya ndakaona aiita manje kuti ari mudenga akadaizvo. Saka ndakati ndoitawo something. Yakarwadza but haina kundikwadza.
Makasvika munorera pasi manje.
Hakuenda mudenga handazozvifunga ndakazozvifunga ndamudenga kuti pasi apa vandazosvikwa futi apa. But mudenga vacho vakabudisa picture book zvekuti but pasi apa haiwa yanga manoziva zvinoitwa in the heat of the moment. Usvika uchinojaimbira uchinodonha handisi tondoti makipa akatodhaivhira. Pane akambondibvunza iri kuti paunoflyira mudenga unodonha uri kwari seiwana achinakirwa kuti wakazoina mudenga ichigara chidonha every day. So it was just something spontaneous just happened. Kana iwe celebration I don't think kuti yakariyeswa that machine gun thing. It just happened. But I'm going to cherry on top.
I'm not going to remember that. So makazobudiswa me. Was bore like you rightly said, makazosabura wachipinda Campos kapini.
Game area before that game. I wasn't feeling well. Because I think ndandaita fever sort of. So ndatongoritamba zvimwe zvaizvo zvinokuti I think the medical team knew. Ndakatamba zvongoshinga ngodai. So ndakazoonawo dzato kuma 3 because I remember game raya ndakazonorara kuchipatara ndakutozotreatwa after that game but it wasn't because of the celebration. No. Paipai zvakutongowese ndakutoona kuti ndamchingira zvakwana bobo plus tatawina katinowina 3 here game raya. Saka ndakaona kuti bobo ndakatozoendawo kuchipatara ndakazobudiswa later on. Ndatomborwa netumadrip because ndasingazobvo ndaitenge ndakuda kuita malaria or something but
okay, it was indeed a historic year because that is the very year the Warriors qualified for their maiden Africa Cup of Nations campaign in Tunisia. You were part of it.
Yes.
Take us through back to the qualification process, the pressure, the feeling, the reaction, the excitement, the celebration.
Pakashando baba because I remember tichitoitanga camp yayi mofa achitotaura kuti gentlemen here I'm bringing people ndoda kufamba nevanhu vari kuda kuzotamba zvebhora zifa haina mari. That was the thing that he said. I remember that speech. Zifa haina mari aumani isu handitoita sei tinotamba bhora mari chauya. So Papa, we're very fortunate that Mofu assembled a very strong team in Wangari fighters. Because some battles that we fought in that campaign.
It's knocked out.
My games atakatamba, especially matakatamba kunzo Papa kai. Saka Papa that in a team yangari
committed.
Very very committed indeed. Wangani solid hearts to that. And I was still a very young man, Papa. But vanhu vachona it will force you newacho kuti utione moyo wavanawo chifumba chacho kuti utira kutorwisa. It was a tough campaign but we got what we wanted to achieve. I remember the celebrations after was just something else. And I thought also my profiles had issues as people, soccer players. Because even up to now, when I still work, people, they've got fond memories of those times. They speak about it as if it happened yesterday. My memories were so. And I'm sure that was over 20 years ago. But people, they still, it's something that I will always cherish. For me, I think that is the biggest achievement in my footballing career because just standing there, Tunisia, where we are national anthem, with the big guns. of African football.
Patrick Bomas, the Modesta Mbamis, the Samuel
Yes.
Eto'os.
Yeah, and you remember that in Papa Egypt, so Papa Gai Papa, and I'm very humbled to have been part of that team, and also very grateful to have represented the country past Bangwaya.
Yeah. You make it sound like a lightweight thing, eh? But the reality is you were the first goalkeeper to ever keep goal for Zimbabwe at the AFCON finals.
Yeah, I got Gokwe.
I have a goal.
Gokwe.
You are basically a boy from Gokwe who lived the dream. I remember I wrote the story.
Yeah.
How was the feeling? Energy. Kuti, less than 4 years ago,
Yeah.
you were playing Division 1 football in the dusty streets of Gokwe.
True.
But all of a sudden, you are representing Zimbabwe at the biggest African football fiesta. And you are the first choice goalkeeper for Zimbabwe. How was the feeling like?
Zvaitotyisa zvobvundutsa kazvazvo, because for me ndadati overachieve, because I never in my wildest dreams kuti ndikatofungidzira kuti time frame yataura kuti the time andaitamba bhora ndiri kuGokwe, the time kuti so few years ahead from that time tatova kuAFCON takutotamba bhora
3 or 4 if you ask me. Basically. Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years tatova kuAFCON.
That was a quick transformation, eh?
Yeah, it looked quick, but it was very, very tough. It was a very tough transformation, actually. But in that team, you know, team here, any other keeper could have just done the same. We had a solid team.
You reckon?
Yeah, we had a very, very solid team. Anana Kaitano Tembo,
Desi.
Anna Desi Kapenya, to me, Anna Via, Tulani Ngube, Nana George Mugando.
He was the right back. Father Nengo Masham Link.
Tarapita. Sanutara to team here. Any other keeper, even when I open my gloves, I was on go to one Mira. And I was a young man, Papa. Dojimufuti. And one Madara, I can't be Seragu. I couldn't incorporate a paper. Because it my veterans and got him to me. My youngsters started to show me. I think it's Chisa. My campaign, me. Nanengo. Then if you remember, I remember that's a show, but my watch and my tried and tested warriors, and I remember. So it also helped us. A fusion, I get a move gag. I get out to balance, I got a Buddhist session. It was a very, very good experience in Madara. Even now, I would have just leave, but I'm proud with him. We put Zimbabwe on the map. We paved the way for these youngsters. Now, these youngsters are doing us proud. Also, we constantly qualify. It's just my wish. I want these youngsters of this generation now to be the pioneers of going to World Cup now.
Indeed.
Because we've been to AFCON and we are trying to progress. But I'm sure this group of players that we have, they will do us proud.
AFCON, Tunisia, 2004, and everything fell into place. You guys are happy. It's an achievement. Qualification was a big deal back then, eh? You guys were even invited by the president, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, true.
For following qualification, there were wild celebrations. Of course, it wasn't a straightforward thing. Tatazo qualifier, we were supposed to beat Eritrea by 4 or 5 goals or something, and we beat them 2-0. But eventually, Takazoenda is the best placed. What? Maenda kwa AFCON Tunisia and the first game is against Cameroon. Cameroon the first game was against Egypt.
Yeah.
Egypt obviously in my legends and everything, and Hassan Hussein, they were there and stuff like that. And then came the Cameroon game. African powerhouse as well. The Patrick Mbomas, the Modesta Mbamis, Mark Vivian, for basically people that you were basically watching on TV or during your days in Gokwe. I'm not on a stage Friday.
I can't watch a stage Friday, because we knew to go to Chicago. We knew we were going there. We were fighting to be here. But I think Papa, also the experience of being there, we were playing with teams that have been there more times than us. It was just our maiden time, and some things are just new to us. It's different now from qualifiers, guys. You had all my knockouts, you had all my group stages. You need to be. So I think a little bit of experience also, because if you notice my games, taito go sir we would match them with the 5-3-1.
Yeah, you guys scored 3 goals against Cameroon,
we
including the
scored 3.
goal of the tournament.
Yeah,
That's stunner by Ezrom.
exactly. So panika kunoti with a bit of maybe calm, I won't say it's stage fright side, but panika maka experience kanongozodiwawo tese ndeke kutanga, and we got teams that maybe were a little bit better than us. Vanotambira, they've been together and they've experienced that tournament before Isusu. So I wanted to see so I think that was maybe our biggest downfall. But I was very proud of that team. We did well where we are. We almost got another team. Egypt, I think we could have beaten Egypt. We got chances to bury them, and you see inexperience in Udaro. But any not hard feelings about that. I'm very proud of what we did there in 2004.
We have qualified for AFCON 6 times. 2004, 2006, 2017, 2019, 2021, and recently in 2025. How do you rate the class of 2004 from a team as end of AFCON?
Because there you rate them by Mabudira Papi and so maybe a bit more special, but it was the first time, and the other ones also Pakango qualify. I won't take away because it's not an easy fit to go to AFCON. So I won't say the teams after us and say we did it. Because qualify no net. Kushka iko kwachuna for so takangofanana because takangobudira ma group stages tese. It's my wish we should start learning now what is needed. Is it the preparation? Is it the type of players, the type of play, and all those things? But I think we've got a special group right now because exciting youngsters. Remember that time with experienced players. This time I never found I'm excited for this last one. Youngsters. It's my wish to keep them together, keep more time to jail, get more preparations for them. They will make us proud, these youngsters.
They'll make us proud.
Yeah, keep them intact.
Okay. I don't know. A lot of people think that, of course, you after the AFCON finals you had in a last year's career, which took you to South Africa, which took you to Israel, back to South Africa, back and forth. You became a coach, a goalkeepers coach. How strong is the goalkeeping sector in Zimbabwe, particularly in the context of us having to field at the biggest tournament in Africa a goalkeeper who is 40 years of age? Yet when you did the same thing, you were basically half of that age, 20. So how safe is the goalkeeping department in that area?
I think it's very safe. I think we've got some exciting young keepers in the country. It's just maybe a matter of giving opportunities. You see, because coaches, they've got preferences. He's a good keeper, experienced keeper. Mpana wangu Sekuru good. Anditi Sekuru good.
Ango Babun, this was
very good keeper. I think he also won the goalkeeper of the year like me and did soccer star.
Yeah, he did.
So top keeper. He's got some good understudies coming up.
The likes of?
Because apane pana ngari ku Spain there. Anozani Tawaziwa. Anozani Aimboshezwa.
Mali.
Anozani Seneme.
Mali Tawaziwa. Good prospect also. I get that, but it's also good to have someone who's training with the elite. His time will come. We've got good youngsters also here. Good goalkeepers, I think. Prince. I think he's a good keeper. And I think they're good keepers. So it's just a matter of the choice of of the coach who he wants to pick. I believe because we have been there with the keepers here, local. Anytime I America, what's his name? Tatenda.
Mkuruwa. I don't think we had a problem in my keeper. he preferred, I think the coach now preferred a bit more experienced keepers. Some prefer the rookies, sort of. But I have got faith in these youngsters. Even if Mpana wangu decides all right, but I won't be. I think I'll see because if he still feels good, he can still give us something. Let him be. But we need also to be.
Was he still playing in the end?
He's still playing. He's playing well also for his club. But these youngsters also, it's just a matter of being given an opportunity. I've got confidence in them. I know they will do well.
Okay.
So it's just maybe now with the coach, maybe I point on fast. Now it's good time maybe to assess and you move around. You'll be impressed. I've been impressed with the keepers that we have here.
Okay.
With more coaching and just being well versed with the modern way of goalkeeping. The talent is there for us now to nurture them to Vandutamba national team.
From the viewpoint of a goalkeeper's coach, Energy, what type of a goalkeeper do you think we need, especially the national team, considering how we play generally? Do we need a modern day goalkeeper who's good with his feet, or we just need a short stopper of some sort? What type of a goalkeeper do we really need between the sticks for the national team?
The modern football requires a goalkeeper who both comfortable and is a short stopper and is good with his feet. That is the way modern football is played now. Sort of possession is part of the infield players. We need to have the ball so that we can score. So he needs to be part of it. Relieve pressure, you need the ball to relieve pressure from your defenders. You need the goalkeeper to rotate play and all those things. But at the end of the day, the goalkeeper's primary job is to save the team. You have to prevent goals from getting in. I think sometimes to know rasika so but modern football is a fusion of both short stopping and also being able to play with your feet. But players' tactics differ. You get another coach who needs the ball to talk about second ball. There's no room for you to be moving the ball around with the defenders and all that. Find the target man. Who play second ball, we are gone. So it depends. But I know modern players now, they can adapt to whatever. They can adapt to whatever situation the coach wants. It's just we want to be coaches who train goalkeepers to suit whatever the formation the coach wants them to play. So, this is
standard for
but the most important thing for me is the mental strength of the player, because it's a big responsibility to be a national team goalkeeper representing the whole country. So you have to be very, very strong mentally, because the ability is there. That's why you have been called and recognized to represent the country. But you need also to be mentally strong, also to withstand the pressures that come with playing for the national team.
Okay. So, like you rightly said, modern football is evolving, and like we have seen a lot of good short stoppers in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League, a league where you have played and coached. What is it that you think we need to do as a country for our goalkeepers? Of course, we have good goalkeepers, like you rightly said, but there is always room for improvement in every aspect, isn't it?
True.
What is it that you think we need to do for us to improve the goalkeeping department as a country collectively?
Catch them young. That's my thinking. Catch them young. Because I remember taking me, for instance, within the Chikura inning, in the house, when I goalkeepers coaching the Caps, that's all 18 years. But in the I think if I had an opportunity to work with a goalkeepers coach from a very young age,
you would have been better?
And the maybe better teams, better leagues. And so now, it's also my coaches, we need also to be well versed with the modern way of training these youngsters, especially youngsters, we're talking about PASA, so that they are not far off from Europe. Because when I go, even my goalkeepers from Africa going to Europe, not only in Zim, it's a problem. Because maybe I just want to
okay.
If it's the same way with even my players, so it's the transition when it becomes simple. When I am now, they are youngsters, but they're playing as if they are seasoned. They've been playing for years, but it's because of the way they were groomed. So we need the same thing with the goalkeepers. Teach them the basic, simple things. and it so that even you are ready for a European market. When a scout, when it comes, you can see this one is
The potential.
it's with potential and is ready for the big leagues in Europe. Because even my trainer actually I still got to dive ground.
Okay.
Training go to drive here ground race uchingotendera because ndo zvananga vachiziva. It's not there before. My teams are going to get my goalkeepers coaching back then. But now because we have to maximize and also try to catch these youngsters here. Vachiri vafana vadiki vadzisa mabasics okura vachizviziva. Now we have abundance of talent for both local league takutambisa ma-elite goalkeepers. Ndo vanozoproduce ku-national team. So it's a sort of a conveyor belt. Soramba zvingotendera vachipedzawo vachiuya vachiita zvatiri kuita izvi. Vachidzisawo zvavadzidza tichiramba tichienda and also being well versed with the modern way of doing things now. We can't be stuck here. Things are changing. Mafoni ari kuchange, so is training yacho. Zvese zviri kuchange.
Indeed. Lastly, Gokwe, you have done it all, you have seen it all in an illustrious goalkeeping career spanning over 2 decades. You have achieved, like we have mentioned earlier in the show, within a period of 3 years, though you insist it was difficult.
Right.
You came from Gokwe to Tunisia and lived a dream. You won the Soccer Star of the Year. You represented your country. You went to Israel. You played in Europe's top leagues there. What is your advice to that young boy who knows, no, this is Mdara Gokwe. He has done it all. I want to be like him. I aspire to be a goalkeeper or even a legend. What is your message to that young goalkeeper watching?
Message.
Advice, probably.
Advice, okay. It's just a broad thing. Munaga, if you believe in this is what I want. Football is not easy. It requires you to work very hard to perfect your trade and the discipline to keep doing those things. Because as you train, it's a very, very long process. The perseverance to keep on working. And it kuona zviri mberi zvisati zvaitika kana zvazoitika maintain your humbleness and it, because there's a lot of things, a lot of people who have helped you because bora chana kutambe work for the coaches to thank you, for the parents kana uchiri mupana mudiki vanenge vaipa mari kuenda kwira muchovha unotraina nevamwe unotengira mashooters. Be a humble person and is very dedicated to your zvauri kuita zvacho izvozvo and not be distracted by these peer pressure things of iko zvinota kuona kune vafana vakuita zvemadrugs and what. For me it's a thing of weak minds and whatnot and unotombomira kutombovhiringidzwa nemapeer pressure, stay true to zvauri kuda izvozvo. And it was in the same sentence also ndechiti also my guardians or my parents anenge achiona the talent, try to also to nature assist where you can so that that dream comes true because it's not easy. It's not easy, but I'm happy now ndasana kwakubuda makacademy ari kuita kawanda kwese my parents they can see that a kid can also make a living out of playing football like what we did and they're trying by all means to help their kids to achieve that dream. Asi vasakanga unoti chikoro chinodiwa because out of all those hundreds and thousands not all of them will make it. So they need something also to fall back on if that career, because maybe per group revanhu 200 maybe 2 or 3 will make it. Make a living out of football. So vamwe vacho vachaita sei, so let's also as parents also let's try to balance school and sports kuti chimwe chakaramba but you've got something to fall back on. So ndizvozvo, be true pabasa rako pachinhu chauri kuda, dedication, humbleness, work hard, tirira vabereka, tirira macoaches, tirira maguardians enyu anditi mumbomira zvemadrugs zvinodistracta, zvidoro zvevasikana zvechichichi atimboita zvebhora.
Be true to your work, stay humble, work hard, and listen to your coaches. But more importantly, stay away from drugs. Wise words indeed, from arguably one of the best ever goalkeepers to step on a football field in Zimbabwean football, Energy Murambadoro. Energy, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming. Indeed. So yeah, it's about 2 weeks to go before the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, and I will be back next week to preview what lies ahead in the upcoming season. It was Larry's Look at the League. Thank you once again for watching.